to the lecture topic. And actually, we already mentioned a little bit about that. So just now we talk about a Christian, right? And you grew up in a Christian family environment. I believe both of your parents are Christian, right? Yeah. So the first question is that you understand the Christianity at this moment. Maybe your idea will change 10 years later, but how you understand now? What's Christianity?
Well, I would say that it's a adopted family that has Jesus or like God as our father. And like Jesus was the connection or the sacrifice that allowed us to be adopted in. And in this fatherly relationship that I have with God, I find like true love, true joy, and like I think real fulfillment in life. And so I would say Christianity calls Jesus our Savior, and we hold him as, we really view him and respect him as that of he sacrificed his perfect life for us. We were undeserving, but he did that for us so that we could be called children of God. And there is no way to have rightness with God except through Jesus, because we're all sinful and we've all done wrong things. And if I as someone who has done wrong things tries to be in the presence of something that is perfect, it just can't happen. Either the perfect thing will become imperfect or this thing will die. And so in this case, if I went into the presence of God, who is perfect, I would die. But because of Jesus, his blood atones for the wrongdoing that I've done. And so I can approach the throne of heaven. I can approach God boldly and ask of him things and know him and have a relationship with him. So that's how I see Christianity in a broad sense.
Got you. So based on my understanding of your description, I think that there are several key points of Christianity. The first one is that you're believing in God. The second one is that you believe in Jesus. It's a kind of like a bridge between you and God, because every humans are imperfect with sins, right? No one can claim that he never do something wrong, right? If he claims that, that's suspicious. And so Jesus Christ do the sacrifice on the cross to save the sin that human cats, for all the human cats, not just you or me or someone, right? And I think that's the second point. And I think the third point I feel is that about the love, right? You believe that God loves you, and that love, I think, is also one of the foundation. Because I read a little bit about the Bible, and a lot of things we can describe it. It's about what love it is, right? That's why we will talk about in our next topic, because a lot of time we understand love in a very narrow way, right? And yeah, that's my 3 points I feel very important in the core value of Christianity. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yes, it does.
And also, okay, so this is about Christianity and what is Christian? Because it's easy, right, for a person to claim I'm a Christian. But does that mean a person claim he or she is a Christian, then he's a Christian? What is a true Christian from your perspective? From your perspective?
Well, I would say how I get the answer on that is I go to the authority source of what is a Christian, and I would say the Bible is where I've seen the answer to that and where you would find a definitive authority on that. And I would say there's a Bible verse I'm reminded of that says, "For with the heart one believes unto righteousness, and for the mouth confession, and from the mouth confession is made into salvation." So with the heart you believe, and unto righteousness, and with the mouth you confess. And another verse is, I'm paraphrasing here, but you will know them by their fruit. So this is something that's come up before in my life, where someone may say with their mouth, "I'm a Christian. I'm like you." Someone can be very culturally like me. They could go to church. They could sing songs like I do. They could get excited about things like I do. But there have been some times where I was like, "Oh, I guess they weren't who I thought they were." And so that's something I'm learning, is to have more discernment of not just taking things at face value, because someone can say, "I'm a Christian too. Like, I believe the same things as you. I go to church too. I do this." But whereas maybe they're in their actions, in their actions, your actions are kind of the fruit in your life shows up, and it's a result of the things going on in your life. So
Yeah, because your actions speak out of your mind.
yes, like subconsciously, your actions will reveal what's inside you. And so I'm learning how to discern that more of, like, I could spend 5 minutes with someone and know a lot about them based on the 5 minutes, based on the way they carry themselves, the words they use, how they respect people, how they respect themselves, things like that. And so you can tell if someone genuinely is a follower of Christ, is the term we use. That's one term we use, is a follower of Christ. You can genuinely tell if someone is or not based on the fruit of their life. Sometimes there are yeah, so I would say it's more based on that.
I get you. So basically, it's that you can feel that, right? From how a person speak, from how a person behave, you can feel that whether they are sincere follower of Jesus Christ, or they claim they are, but actually maybe from internal, from their internal mind, they are not so true or sincere, right?
Yeah, I would say in a relational way. That's how I approach it. But that does not mean that I know.
Oh, yeah, of course. You cannot go into their mind.
Yes. And I would say for someone to actually be a Christian, the actual So that is like me perceiving, but
Mm-hmm.
the actual definition of like what makes someone a Christian, I would say, is someone that calls Jesus their Lord, and he's their only Lord. He is that to them, and that they follow him, and that they hold the Bible to be the one authority on that, and that they believe it's God's word. Um, that I would say that makes someone a Christian is that they believe in Jesus and that he died on the cross and that he lived a perfect life. Those core things make someone a Christian.
Got you. And I'm curious about because you grow up in such an environment, right? When you are a little girl or even you are a little baby, your parents already bring you to church. So I wonder at which moment you feel that the connection you have with God. Because sometimes we get used to something just because we grow up in such an environment, right? It's more like something just happened as like a kind of habit. But I am curious at which moment you yourself feel that on purpose rather than passive. Because yeah.
That's a really good question. Thank you for asking.
Thank you for answering.
I feel like when I first had a connection of God with God, I think maybe I didn't realize it, but I felt God was working in my life, and I didn't realize it was God, but I just felt like, for example, in my probably around preschool age for me, I just went through a hard time. Um,
Preschool age.
Preschool age.
You went through a hard time.
Yes.
4, 5?
I don't remember the age, but it was preschool age, kindergarten, preschool, that time. It was like not the terrible twos. It was not. It was a little bit older where I had a reactive attachment style with my parents. And so it was hard for me to say yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I had to take control of things. And I had this fear inside that still motivates me sometimes. I'm still growing out of it, a fear of I need to make sure it's okay. Because if I am not in control, then how do I know it's going to be okay? I'm afraid something will go wrong if I don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm slowly growing out of that, and I've gotten so much better. But around that time, I just had a lot of fear and a lot of like, as you can imagine, if you can't feel like you can say yes to your parents, then you're gonna have a lot of conflict with them and a lot of like discipline and
Yeah.
trying to work through that. And so like it was hard.
Yeah.
And my parents really loved me, and they didn't always.
My mom beat me a lot when I was young because I disagree with her.
Yeah. Wow. And so I would say I I would cry and scream a lot and have tantrums a lot. And and so but like I feel like God was there, and I didn't really know if I had a connection with him then, but I feel like he was protecting me from getting worse, and things actually got a lot better because I could have stayed like that. I could have been like that my entire life.
Yeah.
And able to say yes to authority, even as an adult, and that would be so hard. I can't imagine what it would be like to still be in the place where I can't say yes. That would be so difficult. Um, And so even in the midst of that, in particular, I feel like there was a point of time where my mom was having a hard time as well because she was having some health issues. And my dad was working a lot to support our family, and my younger sister was also in the picture as well because she's a year and a half younger than me, so she was also young as well. There was a small part of time where I lived at my grandma's house, and she was supporting our family. And what really touched me is that when I was having a tantrum, she would hold me in her arms, and she would not let go of me. She would keep telling me that she loved me, and she would not let go of me until she would look in my eyes and she would see that I received it in my eyes and that I had received that love. And that was fundamentally life-changing for me. The fact that she would take the time to sit with me in that and just love me, love on me when I'm at my worst. And so I feel like that like, I don't know if that's unconditional love, but that experience really like changed things for me, and I felt like I could start saying yes more after that. And it happened a lot. It happened more than once when I was living with her. But I feel like that was one example of me experiencing the love of Jesus. My grandma is also a Christian. Our whole family has grown in our faith and in our walk with Christ, but she really that really like changed me, and I feel like that was like God intervening and saying, no, Abigail is going to live the life that I've called her to live. She's not going to be dysfunctional. She will be a strong woman who can love well. So
I think this is so personally, I think this is a very moving story, your life story, because and it's also very inspiring. And also I think that you're lucky because if you look around people, the crowd, not everyone actually really feel such a unconditional love, even if it's not unconditional love, it's very pretty close. And if you don't feel being loved, it's very hard for you to love, give out your love to people around you. And also that it happened in a pretty early stage of your life, right? Preschool. And that's kind of a strong, a solid foundation for you still have many years ahead of you. And I think that that foundation will support you, to go through a lot of unknown ups and downs and all those things in your life. And not everyone has this privilege to feel that, or maybe they used to feel that, but they didn't have the life-changing moment as you feel. Yeah,
the balloons came on again. Sorry. Thank you.
it's celebration.
Yeah, I am happy, right?
I can feel that moment because last week or this week I'm reading a book. It's written more than I think more than half a century ago. The book is The Art of Loving. So this book is about is talking about what is love, how to love, and sometimes when we think about love, we may have some misunderstanding. It's very easy is that I love you because I need you, no matter what lead, right? But from the perspective of the writer, he thinks that love shouldn't be like this because it's very easy to happen in a lot of relationship. I need something from you, then I feel I love you. But what love is, I love you, so I need you, so I want to see you, right? I want to like hug you and want to talk with you. It's just like when your grandma hugged you, right, and told you, Abigail, I love you. It's not because there's something she want to get from, right? She's want to get something from. It's not because she loves you. So, and that love is not based on something else, right? You need to be, rich, famous, beautiful, whatever. She love you because you are who you are. And then, of course, because your grandma is still a human, she's imperfect. So it may not be unconditional love, but it's pretty close. And it is because that love that make you feel the love God have you. Because God is perfect, then God can have unconditional love on you, right? Which means that from imperfect love, you have some sense about what a perfect love is. And the feeling of receiving that perfect love, I think may be part of one of the best things you can experience because life's change a lot. And when there are up and downs, it's very easy to lose direction of life. And if you feel you are loved unconditionally, no matter what happened on you, it may give you the courage to go back on the track rather than just as you said, dysfunction. I hope that I can express this in Chinese. Well, okay, we can go to the next topic. And actually, next topic is about love, because that's a lesson